Hi everybody, this is Sister Omi, and I'm here to do the new moon in Cancer reading for the sign of Gemini, and that's Gemini sun, moon, and rising. Now, this new moon in Cancer is unique because it's a total solar eclipse versus a regular new moon, which will have an effect for like 4 weeks. This new moon is going to have an effect for the next 6 months. So Gemini, sun, moon, rising. The next 6 months, and this what I'm getting ready to say is for everyone. At the beginning of this full moon, new moon, excuse me, you may get a storm of emotions. But you also probably get some pleasant surprises. Now, during the solar eclipse, it's like someone turns the light off and you're like in the dark and you're used to using your faculties to find your way through. But now you're forced to activate your intuitive intellect, which would be your saving grace on July 2nd. Now, Cancer governs the way we nurture ourselves. How do you take care of yourself? How do you approach your home, your family? This is a cosmic self-care wake-up call, Gemini, for you and everybody. And for you, it's going to have the biggest impact on your second house, having to do with money, work, your resources, your daily routine. So it's time to get your hustle on, because the tide is turning in your finances, and you're going to have to bring some integrity back to budgeting, and that may mean a spending freeze until you've upped your earnings, and stability should be your goal. So on July 2nd, the day of the new moon, those are the seeds you should be planting on how to increase your earnings and bring stability into your life, even if it means returning to grind, to pay some dues, Now, the first card here I pulled is the salamander. Now, the salamander has a lot to do how it governs your body function. So how do you take care of yourself? It has to do with your digestion, body temperature, how do you, things, are they regulated? How are you taking care of yourself? But it also has a lot to do with your drive and courage. So you're going to need that to get your finances in order at this time. But the interesting thing about the salamander here, the salamander is nocturnal. And this, new moon is going to have an impact on your habits. So since this is nocturnal, what do you do at night, Gemini, that you may not want to come to light? But it's also having an impact on your finances. Only you can answer that question, because it could be negative or positive, but I think that's a question I'm really feeling that you need to ask yourself. What are you doing at night that could impact your resources? Also, here, have you just been a little self-involved? Like, maybe at night are you like sulking by yourself or something like that? With this Cancer moon, we're talking about a lot of emotions, and some of this stuff could be buried. And this here is the Page of Pentacles. So it's like a young prince here, but this is in reverse. So it's sort of like a childish way of acting in a situation, self-involved. And if that's the case, you're probably not getting the support you need. So you got to find a way to turn this around so that you can get the support, the services, even like your work ethic. What are you doing that you could change to turn this upside down? So if you turn this young page up around, By planting some good seeds at this new moon, you'll be able to get the support that you need. You'll be more focused, and you can deal with your security and you'll mature. There's a certain maturity here. You know, the page, or it's called the Knave of Pentacles, but that's like the page. So it's like acting the young person who may need someone to guide them. So if you need to seek help and how you can improve your finances, I would strongly urge you to do so. The Three of Swords. So there's been some conflict and pain. Or this could be a warning of conflict and pain that could be coming. It's like, you see this? Stabbed. It's like did you see that coming? Or did you were being self-involved, or you just, and you didn't see it coming, or you chose to ignore what was going on around you, and now you got this knife in your back, and you're feeling some pain and heartbreak. You know, nobody wants to feel that. And I'm not even saying this is regarding your relationships. It could be your relationships. This is swords. This is of the mind. What have you been thinking? And I'm going back to ask you, what have you been doing at night when you're alone? You don't want anyone to know. But whatever it is, it may be affecting your finances. And although you see the knife in the back, it's like going through the heart. I would say if you have some heart issues, maybe you need to address them. And since this has to do with physical body functions, maybe you're doing some things at night that are affecting your physical well-being. So with that said, going back to that, this is a self-care wake-up call. So even in your mind, if there has been some conflict, maybe at work, or work, or it's something that you do daily, if there's been some conflict, you're going to need to address that, because you want to turn this around, and you don't want to stick your head in the sand and act like you don't know what's going on around you. What can you do to create stability in your finances? Now, I pulled a chakra card here. It is the rhododite. I think I always pronounce, this is one of those cards I think I always pronounce rhodozite. Rhodozite. And this is about having mighty power. Living in a healthy, stable environment creates a stable physical body. What is your environment, Gemini? What are you doing at night that's working against your physical health or your physical living environment? And if you're not doing anything negative towards that, what are you doing to bring positive changes to your physical environment and your health? Because that's what this is about. A lot of things that we hold on from the past, have an imprint on us that puts us in a state of dis-ease. And everyone has to own their own negative, compulsive thought patterns. And Gemini, you are mental, you're an air sign. So what are you thinking? What are you holding on to the past that you just need to let go of, or that compulsive thought, or that tape that you're playing over and over and over and over that's just not serving you at this time? And it's keeping you from getting the support that you need, because I want to say, this is for somebody out there, maybe not everybody. You want to act childish instead of stepping up. You want to be this childlike page wants to be self-involved. It's all about them. You know, what they say, life happens around us, but it's always how we react to it. You know, because there's a lot of things that go on in our lives that we really don't have no control over. It's just how we handle the situation. So maybe there's some grief here that you just need to release and be able to move forward. This is about getting grounded for your own health and well-being. Grounded in your workplace and in your home may need a healing and stabilizing by planting suitable crystals in the earth. So maybe even getting some of these rhododite. Now, if you don't have your own home or something like that, I would say still keep them on you for your health. If you can get one like on the second, make a plan to set forth on a new goal that on the second you want to bring stability in your finances. You want to bring stability in your home. You want to bring stability to your health. Because that's what you're going to need at this time. And like I said, you're going to feel the effects if you do certain things now. If you cut back on spending, save, do what you need to do, in 6 months you're going to be in a whole new, better place. And you're going to feel good about yourself. And you may not feel so self-involved, and you'll be getting more support. Because it's out there. And we got recovery here. Oh, recovery. Isn't that interesting? Pain from our past unlocks the door to understanding. So what are you holding on to from the past that's probably keeping you up at night? Like, I'm going to go back to, what do you do at night? What do you do at night? This is the heart chakra here. This is, it's not the heart chakra. It's how you see things, how you view things. This is about clairvoyance of the mind. This is also about being of service also. What once may have been immaturity is now about growing into a new partnership, more or less, with spirit. And it's like how you see things. Do you want to act like a self-involved child? Or do you want to grow into a higher spiritual being and realize that we're all connected? And in knowing that we're all connected, whatever you're holding on to from in the past, what are you doing at night? Or when I look at this, I really feel like maybe there's something that you're holding on to it at night. You're doing certain things that are counterproductive to you building your resources, something that's counterproductive towards your health. This is a time of recovery. This is a time to look at things a little differently and see what changes could be brought about to make your life better. Or, all this is an inside job. We all have a choice here. What can we do to make our lives better? So what I definitely would suggest, especially with this particular chakra, this is like your third eye chakra. I don't know if you're into drawing, painting, or anything creative, just to stimulate that inner vision, but you don't want to lose focus. Also, maybe some mindful meditation. It's like asking you, do you have your head screwed on straight? How are you looking at your things? Or maybe you need to just get your eyes checked. This is about your intuition and your sixth sense. It's heating your conscious. If you want your resources to improve, what are you doing when you're all alone? Are you acting like a self-involved child? Are you feeling pain because you refuse to look at a situation, or you chose to ignore it? This is this is for somebody. I feel this real strongly, but I really feel it's those things like nighttime is probably really hard. And Gemini being of the mind, it's really hard, but you have to find a way to work through that, especially if you want your health to improve, if you want your resources to improve. Also, I really see this as a positive, because with this also, this is about courage and bravery. You have the ability to change your situation, but it's always up to you. All right, but let me know what you think, Gemini. Feel free to leave a comment. Please like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think. Don't forget, hit that like button and give me a thumbs up. This is Sister Omi. Peace.